Don't you
Listen up, I
forget
got a
about
story to tell. We're
Dun,
raising hell every Monday and Thursday.
Culture, listen up, I got a story to tell. We're raising hell every Monday and Thursday. Pop culture unleashed, facts unfiltered, hype increased. Just unleashed, breaking through the screen.
It's not Monday and Thursday anymore, but that's fine.
Creating the dream. This is where rage and human collide, so hold on tight. I got that drive in me, for the life of me. Staying truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. I got that drive in me, for the life of me. Stand truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. Unleashed, breaking through the screen. Living in chaos, creating the dream.
What's up, Frodo Lives?
This is where rage
Sean Mark Piera, Anthony Mark.
So hold on, starts igniting. My brain starts igniting when Shane starts writing. God placed us in this fighting to speak and enlighten. We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera lights dim, the chat starts to grin. The stream is live and buffering, the show is about to begin. So sit down and buckle it in. This is Unleashed, breaking through the screen. Pop culture chaos, living the dream, and the dream. Every Monday and Thursday, pop culture unleashed, living the...
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you! This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say
We can break this army here. It has made us brothers. I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time.
you've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must fight to fulfill that promise. Let us cut out their living guts
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I
Tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Woo!
Yeah,
Come on,
baby!
let's go.
Welcome to the show. My name is Brian, that is Shane, and you are watching Pop Culture Unleashed. How you doing today, Shane?
Holy cow, I am motivated.
Yeah? Motivated?
Yeah.
I gotta fix
Come
my
on,
camera.
listen,
Really?
I've never actually watched the intro before.
Oh, you've never
Today I
actually watched the intro?
I've
What the hell?
never watched. Well, here, in all fairness, I am on the show, so there's usually no need to go back and watch it again. But you know, I can't hear it because remember, I'm muted for everything that occurs on the show.
Yeah, that's true.
So I flicked on the thing, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is motivating, dude! Well done." Well done. Let's go.
I'm so glad you finally saw. Let's go. Yeah. Okay.
What's up, all you beautiful people out there?
Yeah. How's everyone doing? So glad to see everyone. We got a great show today. We're talking about the Terry news. The Weekly Terry is back because Terry has joined the ranks of yet another failing franchise that is Marvel, and hopefully he can work his magic on that.
The bright shining star amongst a darkness, as he was in Star Trek.
Right, yeah. Maybe he can be that bright shining star that is the darkness. I don't know. We're also talking about Chris Cuomo, the everlasting douchebag that is Chris Cuomo.
You know, I got to tell you, CNN reporters are so much more interesting when they're not attached to CNN anymore. Like, it's funny to watch these people who like slowly realize they've been in a cult and now they're like trying to get out of it. It's fantastic. So,
yeah, wasn't he hired by like Patrick, what's his name?
Bet David?
Yeah, Bet David, right?
I don't know. But
yeah, I believe he was. I believe Patrick Bet David hired him and he took a bunch of heat.
Yeah.
And I was like, first off, why are you taking heat though? Like, you're hiring someone with differing views from you. That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. And if you're in the cult of the right, the cult of the you know, and there's cults on both sides, by the way. If you are, then it's good to listen to these people, even though you find yourself, I don't really agree with what they're saying. It's good to listen to it because you need to be well-rounded. So it'll be interesting to talk about some of the stuff going on right now.
Yes, and we got some more information on what do you call it? The Star Trek reboot, because that's actually happening. There is a Star Trek franchise reboot in the making, and it's by the X-Men producer. So
we'll see.
Yeah,
sounds great.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't believe anything until it actually happens. I mean, we had an executive, dude. We have executives from Paramount have a press conference announcing that Star Trek 4 will begin now.
Right.
Right. I mean, you've got J.J. Abrams shows up. You've got none of the actors know anything about it.
Yeah, Star Trek 4 is happening. Can't wait.
So I believe nothing until they start shooting something.
Hey, Chris Pine, what do you think about the Star Trek 4 thing? He's like, Star Trek what? I'm not. I mean, I guess maybe they're doing it without me.
I don't know. We're doing Star Trek.
Yeah, I don't believe a word coming out of Paramount's mouth about Star Trek until it actually materializes into something, because they constantly do that. They're like, oh, we got to pump up our stock numbers. Let's announce a new Star Trek movie.
That's what it feels like. I mean, I will believe them when shooting begins on anything. Like literally go on location, they start shooting something, I'll be like, okay, it's happening.
Yeah, at the very least, right?
Right.
Yeah, so yes, there are, thank you, Archmage, there are some new pop figures, which I'm not a pop figure guy, but I do think it's rather illuminating that all of a sudden there are Stargate SG-1 pop figures. That's crazy.
Well, considering that MGM is terrible with their merch, I'm not surprised.
Maybe they never let anyone else do it. Like, it's like, I'm just surprised that all of a sudden it's happening. I guess this is one of those signs that looks like it's now being ran by Amazon and not by, the original MGM.
Perhaps, yeah. Amazon is much more careful about their merch. So
yeah. So that's we got it. I do want to start the show off with something a little more frustrating, and I have to get it off my chest.
Great.
I have to, bro. Okay.
I was having a great day. Thanks, man.
Sorry, bro. So this, I'm just gonna show you. See that? You see my face right there?
Dude. First off, what are you driving that requires 29 gallons of gas?
Well, no, that wasn't me. Thank God.
I know. I see your face like in the you ran over and took a picture of somebody else. I can see your face in the reflection.
I was waiting. Look, that's my face in the reflection.
Look at your face. Your eyes look like sausages.
Because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You're in utter shock.
So here's what happened. I'm pulling up behind a dude in one of those big
SUVs or whatever.
No, it was a truck, but it was like one of the big trucks, like
Ford F-150.
The kind,
yeah.
either he's a hard worker or he has a small penis truck. One of those two. Either he really needs a truck that big, or he has a really tiny penis. One of the two.
Or just likes big trucks, man. I don't know.
Sure, whatever. Anyways, the reason I came across this was I locked eyes with the guy for a minute. You know when you locked eyes with someone, you go like this, "Hey man, what's up?"
Was there a sadness in both of your eyes?
Bro, the guy looked like he was gonna cry. He was like,
"Well, you got to take out a loan to get gas."
He looked my way, like, because he knew I was waiting. He's like,
"This will last me a week,
bro,
5 days."
The guy looked so sad and defeated. I was like, "Oh man, I hope." I thought before I even saw this, I was like, "I hope that guy's day gets better." Jesus. And I pull up, and I get out, and I see that, and I'm like, no wonder why the guy is on the verge of tears, because this is going to be a week of driving for him.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you're putting in like a gallon at a time at the gas station just to make it around the block a few times,
I put like 2 gallons in my car at a time.
That's right there. You're looking at $12 almost. So it's painful in California. It's especially when you go right across the border in Arizona, and it drops by $2. And you realize that, California is a state that's making things very difficult for these.
Well, yeah, and this is what makes it worse. I'm sorry, but this is what makes it worse. Gavin Newsom, who, by the way, we don't follow, but somehow we don't follow him because I don't want to see.
Did it show up in his feed?
Our feed? Dribble. Yeah, he shows up on our feed constantly. Constantly. I keep doing this. I keep responding. Shut the up. And then I delete it instantly because I don't want to just look like a cretin. But this guy is constantly posting about other states and their failures from his point of view. Meanwhile, our state has the most amount of taxes out of any other state. There's homeless people littering the street, wildfires.
Wait, scroll down and show his face one more time. I want everyone to see their president for 2028. Yeah, that's him right there, guys. That's your president 100%. For 2028. I might even bet a digit on that would happen.
Here's the deal. California is so bad. Not only are the taxes are out of control, there are so many homeless people that at this point it's like a fixture. When you drive, if they're not there, I go, "Oh, I hope they're okay," because they're just like they just live there now, dude.
I dress homeless. You remember like those zombie movies where you like dress up as a zombie and then they let you through, like Walking Dead, right? I do that now. I dress up as a homeless person so I don't get approached.
So you get
approached. It works. Actually
works.
Yeah,
there's human crap on the street. And I live in a fairly nice part of California, and I still see this stuff. Just drug use is rampant. California is now synonymous with wildfires. The state is on fire, and this guy is constantly posting on Twitter about, well, it looks like Louisiana is coming after the abortion. Shut up, Gavin. Shut up. Oh my God. No one cares about your opinions on other states. Do your goddamn job, please. Oh my God, this guy sucks so bad. And dude, we are not following him, but I can't stop seeing his post.
I get text messages from him.
Jesus.
So you listen, and I just text him back. I'm like, I'm not voting for you.
Leave
I
it
didn't
alone.
Vote for you. I won't vote for you. Yeah.
Oh God, he sucks so bad, dude. He sucks. Louisiana has the 5th highest maternal mortality rate in the nation. Shut up, Gavin.
Why is he attacking one of the poorest states? Why is he attacking Louisiana? I mean, it just seems like that's a very bully move right there.
Now, I love this one. This is the one that it had me. I'm just seething. Guns are the #1 killer of kids. Not cancer, not car accidents, guns. Well, you're wrong. That's not true. That is factually incorrect, my dude. That is so unbelievably untrue. He just posts this thing as a straight up fact. Guns are the #1 killer of kids. Nope. Untrue. Unless you are classifying gang members as kids.
They are. Well, they are. They're
And that's the rub, dude. That's the rub. All of a sudden, so gang members that would be tried as adults are being classified as kids, and that's how you're saying guns the number one. He's not. This is not an opinion. It is a straight up fact that this dude is just straight up lying on the number one line of this tweet.
But he's not lying. So this is the most horrifying thing about politics. And I know we don't want to go here so early. The most horrifying thing about politics is that you can take something that is technically true and twist it to meet the agenda that you want. So if you want them to stop making guns, you simply say, well, guns are the number one killer of kids. Well, when you look at it a little closer, you realize that, well, half of those or 3/4 of those deaths are gang members killing each other. Young, which is sad as well. It is true, and that's what I hear.
But even if you factor in gang members, they wouldn't be the largest killer of kids is technically medical malpractice, but it's such a large category that it's difficult to make that one thing. But then after that, you have drug overdoses.
Medical malpractice is the biggest killer of kids.
Yes, yeah.
That makes you not want to take your kids to the doctor. I mean, right?
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but like my wife's grandma and grandmas always do this. Like, no, we don't go to the hospital. That's where people die.
Well, I mean, true. See, that's what a politician would say.
Right.
Hospitals kill people.
Right.
That's true. True.
And I remember going like, no, grandma, that's not what you go there when you're sick. But if you go to the wrong place, it might make it worse. That's true.
Well, it is practicing medicine, by the way.
Right, you're practicing.
They're practicing.
You're
not practicing because we don't know what the hell we're doing. All right, let's move on. Thanks for the rant. Thanks for
I'm
getting
sorry.
us proper mind frame.
It was right before the show. I see that stupid Gavin. Guns the number one. Shut up, Gavin.
I will say one thing positive about Gavin Newsom. I'm going to say one thing positive.
He has nice hair.
No. Seriously. This is something that has really been helpful for me and for you. No, it wouldn't be helpful for you because your kids are in private school. But I have kids in public school and they get free lunches. And I dig that. It doesn't matter how much. And this, I got to say, this is cool. No matter how much money you earn or don't earn in the state of California, if you have kids that go to public school, they get a free lunch.
Okay.
So I applaud that. See, fairness here. I believe in that. Now that probably cost me a bunch in my taxes every year that I don't see, but I'm still paying for it.
The invisible taxes, like carbon tax. Clean air tax. I love this. Like, they go carbon tax, clean air tax, environmental tax. Like, hold on, these are all the same thing. You're just using different words to say the same exact thing. I don't get it.
You can tax somebody differently for each one of them.
Apparently, bro. And like, oh my God, anything that someone needs in this state is taxed to the point where it's almost unobtainable. Like, it's really not. Like he wasn't joking. I put 2 gallons of gas in my car, like every couple of days. Like that's what I do. Like in my mind, I'm at this point now where I'm like, if I put more, then the car might be heavier. Like
make you go slower.
I need to be as
more gas
efficient as possible with this gas.
Half a gallon a day in.
So ridiculous, bro.
Let's move on to something that is not going to make everyone sad.
Yeah. Hey, we did have a members chat from You're On Fouls for 10 months. Hey, boys.
What's up, You're On?
Hello, sir. And
also from Graph Web.
Yeah, this is a new, I haven't seen Graph Web. Have you seen Graph Web before?
Welcome, Graph Web.
Welcome, sir. Welcome to the channel. For $2, it says, for the love of Pete, cancel Disney Plus.
Well, you may be changing your mind, sir, after the news that we're going to share with you today.
Yeah, and are we allowed to talk about that thing Adam was talking to us about in Discord?
Not now,
because
you just said his name. But maybe at some point later.
So it was supposed to be. Yeah, I should have asked you before the show.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, listen, this is just proof that we keep everything very visible.
Yeah.
We're transparent to the point of self-destruction.
We're pretty transparent.
Snakes.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
I guess now we can't talk about it because I literally just said his name. I am a retard. I apologize.
When everybody forgets about it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
So now when you guys forget about this in like a week or two, we're going to have a really cool scoop for you. But you have to forget about it, okay? It didn't come from anyone that you know.
There's time. There's still time to scoop it.
Yeah, there is. There's plenty of time. Yeah, Drew D, by the way, I literally drive under the speed limit everywhere I go. I do that thing where I stop, you know how most people in California do the California stop where they pull up and they go like 1,000 go. I go like 1,000, 1,000,
and then honk,
1,000, and then I look both ways. I'm such a careful driver, and it's not because I am afraid, because I am not. I drove in the military. I have no problem, running my ton of metal around. But I don't want an accident that's gonna be something I can't afford to fix
That's
and
fair.
not be out of a car. B, I don't want a ticket that I can't afford to pay. So I'm careful. Everything I do is very careful.
Good job. Everybody should be careful.
All right, let's talk about the title thumbnail. We got to talk about this first, unless you have something else going on.
No, that's what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so the Weekly Terry. Yes,
It's been a while. That felt good.
That did feel good. It actually opened up my chest. I'm gonna start doing that like on a daily basis. Just like I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna scream, "The Weekly!" Looks like Terry Matalas
Wait, before you announce it, look at this incredible weight loss.
I know. No, he looks great, and his eyes are so blue. Jesus, bro.
I saw him not too long ago, and I was like, "What the fuck did you do with Terry? Where's Terry Matalas at?"
Yeah,
he looks totally different.
Yeah,
That's great.
He looks very. Yeah, he looks great. He looks great. Guy is on that Hollywood diet, man. So Terry is the new showrunner for a Marvel Vision series for 2026 with Paul Bettany. If you recall, Vision is the character that Thanos ripped the stone out of his head. You remember that?
Yep.
And then Scarlet Witch goes crazy or whatever, and blah 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 blah. Well, in the series, the Scarlet Witch series, I forgot what it was called. It was called who cares? But there was a series on Disney Plus where she basically recreates her family, including Paul Bettany's Vision, and has like these imaginary kids, and she like makes this whole town, and she has like a psychotic break, and her powers basically give her like this eidetic 1950s family, and it was sort of clever the way they did it.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty decent show.
And they did in that show, they resurrected Vision. So they took Vision's body and they basically gave it another power source, and it did pop into that show, and it fought with the fake Vision. Something happened where that Vision might have gotten his memories back, which was cool, and it was left just like that. I gotta say, that show wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was disconnected, and it felt like you needed to watch it to understand one of the movies, which is never a good thing. But
and you had to watch Doctor Strange to get a conclusion,
right?
To get a conclusion to it, yeah.
Yeah, in order to get a conclusion, a real conclusion to that, you had to watch Doctor Strange, which is it's such a. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop doing this. Marvel is like is such a they constantly do this where it's like
they're not doing it anymore though.
They're not gonna do it anymore?
No, they stopped it. They in fact it just came out recently that they're gonna stop doing that. So each show is gonna have its own.
But what about Deadpool, bro? I'm under the impression that if you don't watch the Loki series, you're not gonna get the most out of Deadpool. Because Deadpool is introducing, like from the perspective of someone who never saw Loki, there's a brand new character and agency in there called the TVA. And if you didn't watch Loki, you wouldn't know anything about it.
I mean, Deadpool's almost through production, so you know, this was something new, maybe going forward. So maybe it'll be after Deadpool or something. I'm getting the impression though that going forward they're going to stop kind of making everything so confusing, because I mean, think about it. You know, if they keep going this way, no one has responded well to this style of putting out material.
Yeah.
And granted, it's the wild, wild west. We didn't know. Disney Plus is still relatively new. We're trying to somehow get movies and streaming to work together. So they are testing things. It just didn't work. So, you know, I think a Vision series with Terry Matalas. Before we go into the Vision series with Terry Matalas, I think the first thing we have to mention is what an idiot Alex Kurtzman is.
Yeah, plain and simple.
So,
like he let this guy go, and Disney snatched him up.
well, and here's the thing. Well, okay, and we'll tell the story about how that happened too. But you know, the reality is that here you got a guy, Terry Matalas, who the only thing he wants to do is Star Trek. Like, he has made it very, very clear to everybody he talks to, whether it's behind the scenes or to Alex Kurtzman himself, that all he wants to do is Star Trek. I mean, tell you, this guy has pitched him so many times on so many things. And it just shows, you know, obviously everyone knows how I feel about, you know, the current Star Trek. And I think that they're running it into the ground. And it's just more obvious. I mean, you got a guy who kills it with Picard season 3. He's only been awesome at everything he does. He pitches several ideas. And he even could have said, hey, go ahead, you can do Starfleet Academy, right? What if he just said, here, go ahead. It's already happening. He's already going forward. Gives him Starfleet. Why wouldn't he do that? Because he is a complete idiot. I mean, that's the only answer there is.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, you have to have a showrunner for Starfleet Academy. So why wouldn't you give it to the guy who made really the only widely loved Star Trek anything for 15 plus years? Like,
the most popular Star Trek season of television since Enterprise left the air was Picard season 3. Why wouldn't you capitalize on that? There's no Star Trek legacy. If he's going to do a Vision, at least not with Terry Matalas, if he's going to do a Vision series, which he is, okay. And so what we learned was that Kevin Feige, who hired Terry Matalas, is a huge Trekkie.
Yeah.
And he was hugely impressed with Picard season 3. They actually did a podcast back in February on the Treksperts.
Yeah,
show.
the Inglorious Treksperts.
Yeah, and I think that's where the Oedipus of this came from. If you want to know the truth, I think they met there. And of course, Terry had already done Witch Mountain. He'd done the pilot for Witch Mountain, which doesn't look like it's really gone anywhere. And Paul hired him. So,
yeah, Kevin hired him.
Or Kevin hired him. I just saw Paul Bettany's name here. And Kevin hired him. So that's what's happening. And you know what? I love it. I don't care to watch any more Marvel shit, but I'm going to watch anything Terry Matalas does, you know, because he's done everything right. So.
Yeah, I have no interest in I really have no interest in Marvel past Deadpool, but I will watch this mainly because it's Terry. Some people are like, you know, I remember on a couple of other shows, like, well, you guys are just Terry Matalas simps. Like, no, we just like Terry.
No, I am a Terry Matalas simp. No, that's right.
No, it's not exactly that.
No.
No, we can be critical of
define
Terry.
simp for me, quick.
Well, you're saying can you not be critical of Terry if he makes something bad?
Oh, is that what a simp is? Simp
Simp is someone who is just it's always, you know.
As long as Terry is doing good things, I'm gonna say good things. I mean, if you make shit, if Terry suddenly, like right now, listen, Terry is the guy walking around in the zombie outfit. Okay, like we were talking about earlier, right? If you want to get through the zombies, you look like a zombie, you act like a zombie, and you walk through the forest of zombies, and you're safe. You make it, right?
Right.
Terry Matalas has put on a Hollywood costume or a Hollywood dress, a liberal, a far leftist crazy person outfit, and he's wading through them to somehow make it through and
create things.
As long as they don't figure out who he is and eat him and turn him into a zombie, then everything will be fine. But we'll see how long that can last out.
Yeah,
I feel like he's held out long enough that the whole idea of wokeness is starting to become less popular to some degree. And he might be able to continue making things from his heart like he likes to do.
Yeah, so this is exactly what it says. It says, after Vision died at the hands of Thanos in 2018's Avengers Infinity War, he returned twice over in 2021's WandaVision. I'm going to scroll down. Marvel brought in Matalas after his work running Star Trek, Season 3 of Star Trek Picard, which brought back the cast of, when you remember, Star Trek The Next Generation, to widespread acclaim. True. Also garnering Matalas a WGA award nomination. All right. With Matalas coming on board, this will be Marvel's first new live action series pickup in almost 2 years, representing a significant shift in how the company produces television for Disney Plus. So I wonder how much of this was like Kevin Feige was like, "Hey, Matalas, what do you want to make?"
Well, I mean, I think he saw Picard season 3 and said, he might have asked him, what do you want to make? Or he might have said, this is what we want to do. You know, do you think you can do it? I don't know. All I know is he likes Terry. Huge credit to Kevin Feige for recognizing talent and bringing him in. Marvel needs it. You know, I see Terry Matalas as being the kind of guy who's kind of like a James Gunn or I see him being at that level at some point. You know, if he continues, making things the way they should be made, being a nerd. I mean, there's a man who can talk about anything that happened in pop culture in the 80s and 90s, from his heart. So that's why Kevin hired him, because he's talented and he recognizes it.
And we give Terry the benefit of the doubt, not just because we know him, but because he hasn't let us down yet. Like these show a lot of the work he's done at the end of this article. And I said before Picard, he did Sci-Fi's 12 Monkeys, which is probably the best time travel series on television ever. He was also executive producer and showrunner of season 4 of the CBS reboot of MacGyver, which is what brought Jerry Ryan back to television, which was great. Really good. He's written for Night Flyers, Nikita, Terra Nova, all good television, Star Trek Enterprise, which right? He was actually he cut his teeth on that show. And more importantly, he's restored multiple Back to the Future DeLoreans.
I mean, you got to love it to do it.
Yeah, that is such a nerd thing. He's like, look at, I restored not 1, 2, multiple DeLoreans. Oh, man. Yeah, 12 Monkeys was outstanding, but I also like Terra Nova a lot, which one of the Orville producers, I forgot his name. We met him at that Orville experience. I can't remember
who it was. Oh, you're talking about the director? No, it was director.
Yeah, it was the director. He directed Terra Nova. You can look it up.
He directed it or he produced it?
I'm pretty sure he directed it.
Okay, you said producer.
Well,
look, Brandon Braga was actually on Terra Nova.
Yeah. Was it Brandon Braga? There's another guy too, though.
It's John Kazar.
Yes, John Kazar. Thank you.
Yeah. John's a nice guy, by the way.
Very nice guy. So you have people like that who work together on Star Trek, on Terra Nova, and like Terry is part of that group. He's worked with all these guys, making stuff that we all hold dear. And now he's getting the chance to work and make his own things. And after 12 Monkeys and then Picard, it's all been perfect. So we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll be critical though if something's bad.
I think what's cool about it is, and this is, unless, like I said, unless he has like some sort of major philosophical change, he believes in the canon of things. He believes in like what came before and building upon that instead of creating something new. He doesn't need to, make it his own in a way that ruins whatever came before. The content of your character. They always say, who said it? I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said, if you want to find out someone's character, give them power, right? Give them power and you'll find out who they truly are. Mm-hmm. Well, they gave Terry power. He's had 2 showrunners. He's a showrunner for two TV shows, and look what he did with it. So, I trust him until I don't trust him. And, if you need to criticize, of course, we will, but there's no reason to criticize him yet. I'm not happy with Marvel. I can't say that I would be excited about a this series if he wasn't doing it. Vision, okay character, but I don't give a shit about a whole Vision series. But if Terry's doing it, I know it's going to be done right. So yeah, I'm excited.
Now I do like Paul Bettany. I've liked him since
he's good. Yes.
Remember The Replacements? I think it was called.
He wasn't in The Replacements.
He wasn't on The Replacements?
No, that's another actor.
He was in The Replacements.
They're very similar. No, The Replacements is he's the wacky guy who's also in Notting Hill. No, Paul Bettany's different. They look alike though.
Oh, do they? Oh yeah, my god, I thought that was the same guy.
No, they're not the same guy.
Oh my god, I feel like I've always assumed that was the same guy. He was in Knight's Tale.
Nigel Gruff is the other guy.
So I did like him in Knight's Tale. He played like the Herald or whatever, the guy that announced everything. He was great in that. In fact, a lot of that was improvised.
Well, Paul Bettany was in Knight's Tale.
Yeah, Paul Bettany, right?
Right. Nigel Gruff was not.
He was in there. I see. Yeah, they do look alike. Damn it. So in the Knight's Tale, though, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of that stuff was improvised. And there's this interview he does where he goes like, he would just talk, people would laugh, and a lot of the greatest moments from that movie, the kind of moments that made you really laugh out loud or cheer, were him just riffing and people reacting to him, and because everything, it was all practical effects, so they had like tons of extras and stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, he was also in Iron Man 2. Well, of course, he's the voice of Jarvis. He was in the Da Vinci Code, if you guys like that. Master and Commander, you remember him that? He was the surgeon in Master and Commander.
Yeah.
The one who didn't want to, he's the one who didn't want to fight, didn't want to, he just wanted to go explore and do science stuff.
Yeah, he was also in Legion, and I actually liked that movie. It was a little weird with like the zombie angels, but it was sort of cool. It's actually spawned an entire TV show on the Sci-Fi Network, which I thought was unnecessary, but yeah. So it could be good, and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it because it's Terry. And would I have been watching it if it wasn't made by Terry? Probably not. Well, let's be real.
So
I watch everything, but I wouldn't have talked about it. That's for sure.
So where can they go with the character? They take this new vision that's been created by the Scarlet Witch, right? Mm-hmm. That's still around, and somehow he embarks on his own adventure.
Well, no, so like the version of Vision that they put back together, like that gray version or white version, whatever, that interacted with the Scarlet Witch construct. And it got its memories back, at the end of that show. So the version that Scarlet Witch created is gone, if I remember correctly. But that version, which might have gotten its memories back from that construct, from her magic or whatever. So we might, like, this series will probably see a return of him trying to recreate his life, because he was a sentient being at some point before they ripped that thing out of his head, and maybe this is like his return back to that character, which
it sounds pretty boring.
It does sound sort of boring, to be honest.
It sounds really boring. So
but it also sounds like sci-fi, which is what Terry does.
He's going to have to figure out. I mean, what's interesting is I don't know how much of it. None of this is in the comics, right?
There's not this. There is stuff about Vision, coming back after he loses the Mind Stone, but it's not the same. This is we're in different.
So
territory.
He can pretty much do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it would be smart for him to copy like Vision 13 or one of those comics where, not copy it, but like take cues from it, where like Vision, wants to get his family back together, and he goes a little bit off the rails before learning that, who he was. There might be some really cool character development and really cool graphics you can do with that character. You can do it.
This sounds so fucking boring.
I mean, I believe Paul Bettany has the ability to emote.
I like Paul Bettany. I like Terry, but why? I just don't know what you do with Vision after this. Like, are we going to go on another superhero run, or what? I mean, is he going to get back together with Scarlet? Would Scarlet Witch survive? Yeah, she's still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive.
I mean, what's the deal here?
It would
go with this?
It would be Vision getting his memories back and trying to find Scarlet Witch. And remember this.
What kind of show is that?
Well, remember this. Now his memories include children that he doesn't know was just a construct because he got his memories from the construct.
So it's going to be like Nicolas Cage's Family Man, but with Vision. I mean, what are you talking about here?
I think it's gonna be him getting his memories back and then trying to put his family back together and not knowing that his family was all a construct. No, it was made from nothing.
Well, where will be the ass kicking? Where will be the?
I mean, it'll probably be him. He'll probably be kicking a lot of ass just to get a break away from the government. And then when he'll probably be the bad guy for the first 6 episodes. And the back half will be him trying to redeem himself after he learns the truth or something like that. I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to tell us, but there's a lot of comics to borrow from. And we've seen this in comics where he does believe that he has a family and he sort of goes off the rail. And that is a powerful being to mess with. And imagine if you're a father, right? Like you're a father. Imagine if you thought someone took your family and they were hiding them from you. Now, give yourself godlike powers.
Wait a second. It's Liam Neeson with godlike powers.
Right.
Okay.
Just think about that, right? Someone takes your family. You think someone took your family and you think they're lying to you about it. And you have godlike powers that you are just learning about. Oh my God.
That could be good.
Like,
that could be good.
I always say this. All right. I always say this. Thank God I'm not God, because I would have killed half the people on this planet already. Right.
Well, I
would really be the most vengeful God. It'd be ridiculous. Thank God I don't have power.
I'm really
like
glad
that.
you're not God. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good. And I'll say this. If someone took my kid, there is no line I won't cross. There is no.
Say that. You say that in a way that you wish someone would.
I'm not. I don't wish it. I'm just saying I want to be really clear. Red mist, and not just for you, but for anyone you love. I will go straight up swordfish on a motherfucker that touches my kid. It would be. Remember that line that John Travolta had. Oh, they take out a bus, we take out a school. You take my kid, I'm taking your fucking lineage. Like
I will dig up your grandparents.
It will be biblical in its scope, biblical in how vengeful I will be, and I want to make sure that everyone knows that. This is why I hope that I never have to cross that line, because I will cross any line, and I would burn the world down to buy my kid one more day, just one more day.
You feel better now?
I'm just. Like, I'm a good person as long as my
it sounds like you're walking it back.
No, but as long as my tribe is intact. Like, you take away my tribe, you take away the only reason I'm a good person. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The only reason I'm a good person is the people in my life. Right. You take that away, I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain.
Gotcha. Listen, you're better than John Wick. John Wick, all it took was a dog.
That's all it took was a dog.
At least get your kids. I get it. All right. Makes sense.
Yeah, they take a gun. He's like, everyone dies.
That is a dog lover, friends.
Okay, let's talk about Chris Cuomo.
I don't really want to talk about Chris Cuomo. I want to talk about what he said.
Okay. Let's talk about what he said. Chris Cuomo.
If you like watching politics, and I don't know which side you're on, it's fascinating watching Chris Cuomo, because Chris Cuomo was a guy on CNN and he got fired. He did some weird shit during COVID. He's a weird ass guy.
He did. And he protected his brother, who was also doing weird stuff.
They were like weirdos.
Listen, Guido, what was it? Fredo, whatever.
No, that's what are you talking about?
Didn't he get mad? Someone
Fredo's
called
older brother.
Yeah, someone called him like Fredo, and he got mad. He said, "That's an Italian slur where I'm from," because his brother is like the older.
Well, of course, his brother was the governor of New York, right? Mm-hmm. His dad. They're all political figures. So Chris couldn't really hack that. He didn't want to get into politics, so he got into media, which is another way to help your political family. is to just join the media and say things. But he's now, he got fired from CNN for the whole thing. Didn't he like say he got coronavirus and like hid in his basement or some shit, and then he like got caught outside or something?
Yeah, he did something weird. He had COVID, and he's like, I'm taking time off. Then he was like seen outside like biking or something, and someone was like, "Hey, it's Cuomo." He's like, "Get away from me, bro!"
Did he like gonna beat him up or some shit?
Cuomo, man.
He's kind of a loose cannon. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
like they had him like all boxed in on CNN, and like you set him loose. He's like a crazy dog. So I do watch his channel from time to time, and he has some interesting things to say, because you can see his thought process changing. Like you can see like how, and it's weird. It's like watching Bill Maher, and the way he's kind of slowly. He says he hasn't moved right. Everybody else just moved further left.
Right.
Which
is sort of true. Like the goalposts have been moved so much. Where you have Bill Maher who's like, "Hey, where you guys going?" And he just now all of a sudden he's in the right. He's a right wing guy.
Yeah. Now Bill Maher, he's always been able to say whatever he wanted to say.
Right.
Chris Cuomo had to stay within the fabric of what CNN started saying. But now if you listen to Chris Cuomo, you hear some stuff like some Trump acceptance type things, right? But one of the things he was talking about today, and this is why it was interesting to see it, was he was talking about immigration myths being debunked. Hold on.
Yeah.
I know why I got this frog today. And he was talking about basically immigration and about lies and the truth. And I've been really obsessed with this lately because I saw a debate where people were blaming, I guess, the Republicans for Joe Biden not taking care of the millions of immigrants that have come across the border since he came into office. When Trump became president, he just immediately stopped that shit up. Right? He's like, boop, no.
Yeah, just to be clear, like you can close the border with a pen stroke if you're the president of the United States.
If you're the president, right?
You don't require, well, we have to have reasonable immigration reform. Dude, you can solve this problem like this. Done.
Right. And so Biden's excuse was always, we need to pass bilateral legislature. We need to get everybody on both sides. And there was a bill that was put together. But the problem was that the bill that was put in, of course, they don't just do one bill. Like, hey, all right, cool. We're gonna build, take care of the border.
No, yeah.
It's got to be 150 things that have nothing to do with the border.
It drives me nuts. Like, well, this is the Secure Border Act, but it's for some reason it's 4,000 pages.
But we're giving $10 million to
the Smithsonian and
whatever,
some Russian oligarch and
a Russian oligarch. Yeah, they're like sneak things into it. So if you feel strongly,
and some Taiwanese thing and some like social program that they've been trying to get off the ground forever that gives gay frogs whatever. Sure. It's like stop, dude. Jeez.
So the problem is that you end up not wanting to. So the other side who's like, okay, yeah, I'm down for what you want to do here, but I don't like what you do over here. So no, I'm not going to pass the bill. But the people who are fighting against it, like, so the Democrats will be like, well, we want to put this in it. The Republicans are like, no, we don't want that. Let's just pass the bill like we got it and we'll get it. But they're trying to get other stuff through. So then one party will come out and say, well, see, they don't want to do it. We're trying. Look at us. We're trying to do it.
Right.
But they won't pass it.
Right.
And all this stuff stays underneath. So that's why they couldn't pass it bilaterally. But the truth is that one side just wants immigrants to come in. Now, there's lots of reasons why they say that's true. They maybe to vote. I was shocked to see that Obama had a thing saying if you're not illegal, even if you're an illegal immigrant, you should vote, which I thought was really weird.
That's literally a crime.
It's he said they're not going to do anything to you. It's your right. It's not your right.
It's not your right.
So it's really weird that he said that.
Yeah, we need to stop acting like voting is a human right. It's not. It's a right specifically for citizens of whatever country you're a part of.
Sure, right.
That's it.
But the more votes you got, the better chance you get elected.
I mean, I'm thinking about this. Like, imagine if I'm like, hey guys, what do you guys want for dinner? Let's take a vote, right? And my kid's like, chicken Alfredo. My other kid's like chicken nuggets. My wife He's like, I'll take chicken Alfredo. And some random dude from the backyard's like, yo, chicken nuggets. Like, who are you, bro? Get out of here. You're not part of this community. You're not part of this country. So you can't vote on what we have for dinner, bro.
I envision something like that going, pollo.
Oh, yeah, pollo. What? Who are you?
So, okay. Anyways, so the point is that for whatever reason that they don't want to shut the border, the reality is we got all these people coming through. And Cuomo goes on this whole thing today. He's basically kind of backing up. He's like, look, Biden, if you wanted to, you could have stopped this. You know, Trump was able to do it. You could have easily stopped it. Let's stop beating around the bush. He goes, but there's something that Trump's lying about here. He's lying about the fact that all these people are coming in here and they're murdering and killing and raping and doing all these things across the border, which to some degree they are. And to some degree, you know,
this guy's jump cuts make me laugh. So I'm not trying to kill you, but he has these random. So someone told him, like, this is how you do YouTube.
I shouldn't do that.
Every once in a while, you got to just jump cut.
No, it's them cutting out his craziness.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Because he gets on these crazy things. He's crazy. Look at him. Yeah. No, he gets crazy. So anyways, he basically says, you could have stopped immigration, blah, blah, blah. But then he goes on this whole thing about, listen, you got to stop. They're not taking your jobs.
Right.
Okay, listen, they're doing jobs you don't want to do. And it was at this moment that I was like, oh, hold on a second here. Okay, I'm listening to you, Chris. But now we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because guys like you that have never had to work a day in your life, yes, they are not taking away your jobs.
You're right. Yes.
But,
yeah, I'm sorry, bro. They're not taking away the news anchor job, buddy.
Right. They're not taking away your, but the jobs that maybe you don't want to do, sir. But let me tell you the jobs. And listen, I want to say for every person coming across the border, there's going to be some bad ones, and there's going to be a whole lot more good ones.
I want to see a guy in his chair. Hello, welcome to the nightly news. I am Chris Cuomo. He's like, oh, they took my job.
Oh, he took my job. No. So honestly, let me get through my
go ahead.
So basically, you got they come across the border. Okay, and listen, and what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of really good people. They're just trying to like live their lives and live a better life. If I lived in South America or Mexico, my ass would be trying to get to America as fast as I could.
100%. Yeah.
I blame them not for coming.
Yeah, I'm not blaming them for coming. It's great.
The reality of the situation is that when they get here, they got to find a way to live.
Right.
And let me tell you, you're right, Chris. There's a job that most Americans do not want to do. And that is, picking berries out in the farm, farming and picking and doing all those migrant worker jobs. That is traditionally for America has been.
And a lot of the larger farms, though, are on the border, and they bust people in for temporary day passes to work.
They used to do all that. Less of that now. Now it's, there's so many people here. And they can actually make pretty decent money. But the reality is they got here and they said, well, shit, I don't want to. Guess what? They're human beings. They don't want to pick fruit either. Okay. Like they're not, just because they came from down there don't mean like, all I've wanted to live my whole life to pick fruit. No, they don't want to do that. You know what they want to do? They want to be a fucking news anchor at CNN too.
Right.
But they can't do that. But what can they do? So they can start lawn businesses. They can become construction workers. They can become people who clean homes, right? They can do all of these jobs that other poor Americans used to
have businesses. Look, my biological mom, who I haven't seen for a while, she had a business where she cleaned houses. Her and her mom, my biological grandmother, would literally had a business where they would, and it was a tiny little business with little $20, Staples business cards, and they would go around and they would sign people up to come clean their house. And they would make like $40 or $50, whatever, for their time. And they would do like 5 or 6 houses every day. And they had a little business. And that business was taken over by people that would do it a lot cheaper because they weren't worrying about other things.
Initially, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so initially, you're right. So that's one of them right there. My mom used to clean houses, same thing. So that's the first one. You also have lawn care. My uncle did a lawn care business for like a decade.
Yep.
That was his thing. You used to see that was one thing you could do. I'll start my own lawn. I'll go cut people's yards. Right. But what happened? Migrant workers came in. They said, we'll do it for a lot cheaper. People started hiring them. Now you can't. It's impossible. If you're like a poor white guy trying to create a lawn care business in Southern California, good luck. It ain't
Before it's
happen.
like, oh, you got a lawnmower. Start knocking on doors. Not anymore.
All the construction jobs, all taken up. Now it's all of the fast food jobs. So if you notice, you go through fast food places, they don't speak English really.
No,
very little. And
He's
so I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Southern California.
Oh, then wait for AI to come again. That's not even going to matter.
So my point is that Chris, they are taking jobs. They are affecting people who look. If you want to hustle and go create some other type of work or get, what do you do now? They're driving Uber, right?
Right.
And guess who else is driving Uber?
Yeah.
Illegal immigrants.
I wonder how they even get them. They must get signed up, because I've seen that too. I've actually taken an Uber from a guy that was definitely not from here. I'm wondering if they sign up with someone in their household that's like a citizen, whatever, with their car, then they just sort of share the account or something.
Oh, they're sharing socials, bro. That's all it is. Or they're stealing, or they're not stealing themselves, but there are tons of stolen socials.
Also, by the way, we're not talking trash on these people. Of course,
that's
they
what
want
I would
to be
do
here.
I would do it too. Just like
100%.
Just like you would go and kill someone I would kill someone to get into America if I wasn't
100%.
From here.
Yeah,
I would absolutely.
We are blessed to be from here. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So I guess the point is, I'm trying to say is, if you hear that, that they're not taking anybody's jobs, they really are taking people's jobs, because the society that we have built, if you bring 10 million people into your country, they need to do something. What the fuck do you think they're going to do? There's only so many farms.
Right.
That means they're going to do other jobs that people, and you know who's even more scared of the 10 million that have come in the last 4 years?
The previous
50 million that came in the previous 50 years.
Right. Yeah.
We're like, holy shit, no, we're doing those jobs. Don't come here and make it harder for me to get hired now.
Right.
So the more people you add to your country illegally, the more pressure it puts on the lower half of your economy.
Yeah, I thoroughly suggest you watch a video. Look up Immigration and Marbles on YouTube. It is a perfect example about how illegal immigration works. There are only so many marbles that a container can hold. So you can't just continually add marbles before that container is going to burst. It's going to be top heavy. So there has to be, and I got to say, President Biden's right on this. There has to be some reasonable immigration reform. There's got to be a way to process people, get the information, get them signed up, make them citizens if they're not, terrorists or whatever.
Or turn them away.
Or turn them away.
Back.
But there has to be that option. It can't just be, well, we don't know what to do yet, so everyone come on in. That cannot be the answer.
Right. And they're not going to allow it. And I don't know. The Democrats are going to need to come forward and figure out. Right now, it looks like the goal for doing this is to create a more constituent base in the future for voters. That's what it looks like. Yeah. If it's not what it is, then they need to make it clear what it is. There has to be a reason why. And let me tell you who really got pissed off about all this. I know we want to move on, but the last thing I want to say is all the people who recently came across, they started giving them gift cards and giving them places to stay up in New York. And all of a sudden they're like handing out free places to stay and free food. And guess what? All the poor people, what happens when you start cheating on your girlfriend? Right. So all these politicians were like, oh yeah, bring in the new ones. Woohoo. Right. Let's give them money. Let's give them a place to stay. And all the people that they were, basically, dating, all the other poor people who were already here, they're like, why the hell aren't I getting free food and free money and free places to stay?
Yeah. That's
right. And so now they got a problem.
Yeah, no, and that's what drives me crazy about the social systems. Like, they are designed to keep people in invisible chains. Like people, families that work hard, that are barely making it, that can really utilize a couple $100 of food stamps or SNAP to get by in the month, they get denied because there's two working parents or one working parent that has a decent job, but it's impossible to live on one income. But the people that do not are the people that are not looking for work, not trying to find work. They have, they're gaming the system. So it's rewarding people for not excelling, working, or trying to make their lives better. And it's punishing people who are trying to make their lives better by working hard. The system is totally broken in a way that is so obvious to me and most people, but no one wants to do anything about it because they're like, these politicians are embedded in the system like ticks, and they need it to be a problem. They need it to be broken because their job is fixing it. Once it gets fixed, they don't have a job.
The system is designed to keep politicians in power. That's it. So. Well, let's move on from that. We got a super chat here from Michael Nemo, if you want to read it.
Oh, we got one before that, too.
Okay, cool.
From Doomed. Huh? Hey, Doomed. Thank you, sir, for $2. He says, maybe
Thank you.
He can make Vision and Legacy.
Oh, gosh. Listen, I love your hope. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I love the hopium, bro. Like, just suck
it's just not going to happen.
That would be nice.
It's just not happening. Kurtzman don't want him, man. That's it. He didn't want him to begin with. Terry got in there on accident, man. It was a total accident that he ended up in there.
Yeah.
Terry, he's just not. He's not Alex's kind of people. That's it.
It's because Kurtzman's a loser.
I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. But he's also really bad at making television. Even more importantly,
he's a giant loser.
Forget about the loser stuff.
Huge.
He's just really bad at making entertainment.
Yeah. Although I did like Limitless, but I'm not sure if it had anything to do with that.
Which one?
Limitless. But I'm not sure if he actually had anything to do with that. In hindsight, I think he was just like the same way he was an executive producer on Picard season 3, but he was never even there.
He never even saw it. I don't even think he watched the episodes after they came out.
He didn't even watch it live. From Michael Nemo for $10. Thank you, Michael. Said maybe Vision in the new series becomes a David Koresh figure and his cult worships AI, and S.H.I.E.L.D. has to infiltrate the cult to reprogram before they all unalive themselves for him. Interesting.
You are hired, sir. You are hired.
You got the job, Michael. You know what's interesting? Speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D., I remember talking to Terry, and Terry did like the S.H.I.E.L.D. series that I talk about so favorably. He thought it was great science fiction. And if he has a chance to do do a Marvel series where he has access to those characters, right? And S.H.I.E.L.D. has to clearly be a part of the story in some way. There is an off chance we might get some old school Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. action, or at least a nod to it, because that's what Terry does. Terry likes to throw those nods in there.
And he's also good at finding ways to incorporate. He's like, here's what he'll say. He'd be like, okay, what's really cool about Vision? What's cool about Marvel?
Right.
What's cool about this story?
Yeah.
Now, how do we get it? How do we incorporate it? And he has a really good writer's room with Chris Monfett and some of the other guys. And they will sit there until they figure out how to get it done. So, I mean, it's going to be good. And I would love to see something like what Michael's saying.
Yeah, we also had some some pop culture unleashed memberships. That is a mouthful.
I love it when you guys do that.
Frodo Lives gifted 1 Pop Culture Unleashed membership. Thank you, Frodo Lives. And so did Jan Foth. Gifted 1 Pop Culture Unleashed membership. I appreciate that.
See, what they're trying to do, and this is what I love about you guys out there. What you guys are doing is you're trying to get Penny a membership. So, and they do this, and I love that you guys take care of each other like this. I mean, this is what a community is about. So thank you for taking care of Penny, guys.
Oh, Penny got the gifts. All right.
She didn't get it the first time. Autocoder got it.
Yeah.
Then Penny got it, which was cool. So
that's awesome. Well, that's great. Make the members pool a little larger. Absolutely. Speaking of which, we are going to go there soon, but we do have one more story that we promised to talk about. And don't worry, this is probably going to be pretty quick. We got to talk about this. Simon Kinberg talks to produce Star Trek movie franchise for Paramount. Paramount is looking to the X-Men producer to boldly go and relaunch the property on the big screen. This is what drives me nuts, by the way. This announcement was hand in hand with the Star Trek 4 announcement. They're like, Simon Kinberg is going to relaunch reboot Star Trek on the big screen, and we're also doing Star Trek 4. Like, you can't. Those two things cannot exist at the same time.
No.
You can't have a Star Trek 4 and you're rebooting the franchise. Like, they can't exist at the same time.
But what does it do? It makes the Paramount look a whole lot more impressive and valuable when you're trying to sell a studio.
Right.
When you got all this stuff in production. Oh, no, but look at all the Star Trek stuff. I mean, honestly, from a conspiracy theory standpoint, to me, this looks like a lot of smack, a lot of, Paramount can't afford to do shit. But they are looking for a buyer at the right price. So,
right. Yeah. This is what it says. Longtime X-Men producer Simon Kinberg is beaming up to a new franchise. Highly doubtful. The multi-hyphenate is in talks to produce a new Star Trek feature for the Paramount Pictures. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed if it all goes well, the door will open to him taking active creative roles on the rest of the storied franchise film side. Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman are the main executive producers on Star Trek's television side. The project Kinberg would step into is already in very active development. Not true. 100% not true. Toby Haynes, who directed episodes of Star Wars series Andor, is on board to direct the new feature with Seth Grahame-Smith writing the script. The project is said to be set decades before the events of the 2009 movie, because that's what we're doing now. We're making prequels about prequels. It's so stupid. Prequels of prequels. This is what we're doing. We can never move forward, ever. It just has to be a prequel of a prequel of a prequel of a prequel. Side note, I did find out they're making like a Predator series where it's Prey or whatever, where it's going to take place like 100,000 years ago or something, and you're just
yes, of course, yes.
I don't get it. What is your problem?
Like Mayonnaise said in Officer and a Gentleman, I got no place else to go.
I don't know.
I got no place else to go.
Stop going backwards. It's like Predator year 1. You're like, what? Why are we doing that? I don't get your aversion to moving a story forward. Stop it. Okay. Sorry. Jesus. The project is said to be set decades before the event of the 2009 movie. Okay, we get it. It is said to involve the creation of Starfleet and humankind's first contact with alien life.
Or Enterprise.
Just say it's an Enterprise movie. That's what.
But it's not.
Abrams remains involved with the project as a producer. You know what that means? Abrams ain't doing nothing.
I don't know why he would even be a producer. What's the point?
Because Bad Robot has the title. Yeah.
It's his name.
Yeah. There is no release date for the feature, but the studio has signaled that it would look like a 2025 opening.
Bullshit.
I'm sorry. Do you know what year it is? It's 2024. It's May 23rd, 2024. We are pretty much halfway through the year, and you're saying a 2025 release? You don't even have a script yet. The cast has no idea about anything.
Listen, if you want to open a movie for Christmas 2025, you better be about to start shooting, about to start filming. Like, seriously, right? It can't be done.
Yeah, you should be filming now. Like, you should.
What do you think this is? Ghostbusters?
Come on, it's just so crazy that you're like 2020. No, the reason they say a 2025 opening is because they want their numbers to be good before the next quarterly, bro.
That's what it is. Because what's the very next line that said here? What is the next thing that said?
There hasn't been a Star Trek movie since Star Trek Beyond, which was released in 2016. In recent years, Trek primarily lived on the small screen, boldly finding new life thanks to numerous streaming shows on Paramount Plus. Among them, Star Trek Discovery, Picard, and Strange New Worlds.
Yes, but did you already say the part that says the machinations of the franchise take place against the backdrop of a potential sale?
Yes,
to Sundance. Or
I'm going to say it like a villain. The machinations of the franchise take a place against the backdrop of a potential sale of Paramount. Jesus, that's what it is. Like, we need these numbers to look really good for the sale, so let's just make crap up. Like, oh, don't worry, this new movie that's that's using all these names that you recognize, Abrams and X-Men and Dark Phoenix and blah, blah, blah.
Use all the big words.
And Star Wars producer, Star Wars writer, and X-Men producer, and J.J. Abrams. They're making a brand new relaunch of Star Trek, and it's coming out in 8 months. But we haven't started yet.
I wonder if Skydance is that stupid. Like, oh, really? We're gonna get to take this? Cool.
All right. Oh, that sounds pretty cool, man. Let's buy you guys. All right, so we gotta go, guys. We gotta get the member section because we do have a hard out today. I have work again, which I'm trying to work that out. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make sure that I don't have to work every Thursday, but last week and this week I have to work. I apologize, but we're going to the member section. We hope that you can become a member. If you are not one, click on the join button below. It's pretty simple. You hit the button, you buy us a cup of coffee, and you get to hang out with us for a month. It's that simple. That's it. And nowadays, it's like half a cup of coffee. So, at least in California.
Not even that. I think Starbucks is, if you get it the way I like it with 4 shots, it's going to cost you $10.
I couldn't even imagine that.
$10 coffee.
So we are going to the member section. If you can't join us in the member section, that's cool. We understand. We'll be back next Thursday, and I'll be back on Saturday on the Salty Nerd Show.
I'll be on the Salty Nerd Show on Saturday.
And I was about to say that, and so will Shane.
Yeah.
Shane will be gracing us with his presence on the Salty Nerd Show this Saturday. So
it only took all this time for Matt to finally bring me on as a special guest. I'm the SNL guest this week on Salty Nerd, guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He's going to be doing the opening monologue and everything. So if you can,
it's going to be dirty too.
Whether you can come to the member section or not, I hope that you can join us on Saturday at the Salty Nerd Show because you get some brother on brother. That was weird.
What?
I was about to say brother on brother action, but I'm not going to say it that way. I'm going to say Popcast brothers. Interaction. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking because I just screwed it up.
You're such a smoke show, Brian.
Let's go to the members section. We love you guys. Hope you can join us. See you then.
See you next week, guys.